Hey, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, everybody, wherever you're watching from. Could somebody confirm, please, that you can hear me? Thanks. And while we wait for that confirmation, if you are catching the broadcast as a replay, at a later time, thank you for coming to the channel. If you are not a subscriber yet, please do subscribe. We are trying to make it this little channel of ours to 400 subscribers. It feels as if it was just yesterday. Thank you, Mr. B, for the sound check. So I feel like it was just yesterday where I have a 3 more subscriber. That by itself is a story that's I will definitely I hope I will live to tell. We have quite a full agenda this morning. Really, I try to put my thoughts together every single day in this broadcast to bring you something of value. Really, that's really the case. And most of the time it's going to come from questions. So some of you may have individual questions on there. Oh, I sent him questions. Oh, maybe he hasn't answered. So the value, one of the values, obviously, if you have a question, right, guess what? Others here are likely to have the same question. You may just have been proactive in getting your question out there. So I use this pre-market, other than talk about SPY is doing this or SPY is doing that. Yeah, there's value into SPY is doing this, SPY is doing that. But I'm going to be using this to answer a broader question that I see recurring, right? Because as the number of members is increasing, more and more people will have a similar type of question. But before they are through the question today, I want to talk about management of, well, two things. The first one is, first of all, the system that you are trading. We are trading by default. I repeat it. I trade the system. I've been trading this system for the longest of time. At least if I can give you at least one member here who knows how long this system has been in place, because he has traded this system, though not exactly with the same principle that's we are doing today. But I shared with you, some of you on our one-on-one, about even the efficacy of this system. Why am I going with that? I'm going with that with these folks, right? You're relatively new here. You pay for your subscription, and as of now, you're trying to fill things. So you may be in the situation, not you may, you are most likely in the situation you have different system that you're trading. Yeah. So I gave you the spreadsheets the other day of Trading Journal to help you in that regard. And for me, I'm going with that to say, hey, are you missing out on the opportunity that this system has? Because now every single week I have the efficacy of this system. Meaning, what do I mean? I'm meaning that, hey, when we have those 16 or 15, as usual, I hope that they were less, but they are not, stocks that we trade during the week, how many of them and what type of gain they are giving you? Are you finding yourself at the end of the week saying that, oh my God, this guy keeps saying that every single week there are at least N numbers of 10 baggers, but I'm not getting any? Yeah, it's not the system, it's you. So take the time to ask yourself, what are you doing to get the most out of what you're paying for? It's actually going to be a topic of an article of my blog on this weekend because I have enough material that I've gathered now. I was supposed to write this article maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, but now I have ample material to see exactly what's happening because I'm being observing some of you, or actually all of you. If let's say a trade that we have as part of our system is giving 10 bagger, what are you getting? Maybe not everybody's supposed to get 10 bagger, but you're supposed to get something substantial out of it to justify why you are trading this system. Otherwise, stop. Go trade another system. I kid you not. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Seriously. For that, let me give you the example, right? So two things on here. There are 2 classes of traders on here this week. We have only been in 2 days of trading. Yeah? So ask yourself, hey, I started in this system, and this guy, after just 2 days or 3 days, well, the trade on Adobe, most of you took it at the close on Friday. So after 2 days yesterday, actually the first hour yesterday, it was, oh my God, Adobe is a 10 bagger. And for me, I was just feeling good. Like I have a lot of traders who actually are making good money on this. Okay. So first, the people who missed it, you didn't need to trade it on Friday because that's when it's still a debate, right? Hey, should I be taking the trade on Friday? But Telex says that they're expensive. So no. Adobe met the conditions on Monday after 45 minutes. Below VWAP, posting lower lows. And what transpired the rest of the day is history now. Yeah? So there's the category. Ask yourself, what were you busy doing after 45 minutes to miss Adobe? It should have been on your list of option, that's watch list that you are tracking, right? So I know some of you are not lazy as me. You put both sides on there. So, but at some point, this condition was met. This is textbook trade, yeah? So let's pass on that. So that's a point of question mark for you, number one. Question mark number two, fantastic. You did a great job either on Friday or on Monday. You got that. And then how did you manage the position on Monday at the close? We have a whole video now of 15 minutes how to manage a swing position. Okay, if you are of the type, hey, I took my money and ran, okay, fine. That's congratulations. That definitely, I cannot fault you on that. But then my question is, what do you think was going to happen the rest of the week? This was Monday. So this contract, the 440 calls on Monday, you are selling them the low that they went at 440.90. So you were 90 cents from being in the money, which I'm going to talk about because for some of you, being in the money doesn't quite resonate yet. So I'm going somewhere here, folks. Just bear with me. So being in the money, you are 90 cents from being in the money. Being in the money is when actually your position is going to be paying you at a faster pace. That's what being in the money should mean into your mind. Yeah, I've shown you trades, especially one video last week where, hey, you can achieve 10 bagger without being in the money. But when you're in the money, the price of your option accelerates further. At which speed? We answered that question yesterday. Were you with us yesterday? Go into yesterday pre-market analysis and we answered that question. We said that in average, yeah, I cannot bring, I'm not going to switch screen on here. In average, once you get in the money, for every dollar that the stock move, your option, puts or call, yeah, it's no different, will appreciate by at least 60 cents. And that's what happened on here, right? So most of you sold your contract, your 440 put somewhere here, $5, yeah, congratulations. But I mean, maybe you only had one. That's possible. But if you only had one, let me ask you, what do we teach here in terms of I'm in a position and it start making money? So somewhere here, where it made money here, have you heard of scaling in when you have a winning position? So you see, we're giving you these arsenals of tools, okay, that you are now to be applying day in and day out to make the most out of it, out of the system. So did you only have one contract? In which case, ask yourself, okay, what does the system say when I'm making substantial gain and the trade is going in my favor? Yeah? I think there is, if you haven't been exposed to that or you have that into that, I mean, we can stress that again on your coaching. These are the type of things that for us, we really spend time bringing into the attention of the traders, right? So meaning that, hey, my assumption, maybe I'm wrong in assuming that you have multiple contracts here. Let's say at least two, because this depending on where you started, right? Why sell all of them here at the end of the day? The stock is showing us a trend already. So if you sold all of them, then the question could be, okay, did you think that the next day is going to just shoot back up? In which case, did you then buy cheap puts here? Because that's the other strategy, right? People always ask, and trust me, struggle are difficult to trade because it's the psychology of things. People ask, hey, when my trade is winning on one of the direction, what do I do with the other one? Can I sell it? Let's actually take a survey here. How many people do we have? We have about 9 people. Who think, just, I don't know, show of hands. So let's go. You answer one if you think that when your trade, you have a struggle, right? 50-50 struggle, balanced struggle, same number of puts and same number of calls. What do you think, what should you add to do When in the scenario of Adobe, because Adobe, my friend, I'm going to be using this as really, really a teaching case. When this is happening, what do you do with your calls? So answer 1, if you are going to sell them, and answer 2, if you are going to do something else, and tell us what the something else is. So we have an audience of 11. I'm not looking at those who are in playback. So yeah, be courageous, folks, because trust me, if you cannot answer that question here straightforward, that means that you wouldn't know how to react, and this situation will happen a lot. That while I'm waiting for some answers, that's helped me answer another question. What do so many traders, they have strangles? Well, so many traders, they have strangle because the strangle, based on the video that was published on June the 29th, how to manage a swing position, is that you protect. That's how you can stay in a position as long as possible, because you have a strangle. That's the reason. Well, if you're scared to answer, that means you're not ready to trade, because you're going to have to be making that decision every single day. This trade, they move, right? That's what you're paying for. I mean, every single week here, you see these 10 baggers in the summary report. I mean, if you're not trading them, the question is again, sell the call and buy back at the end of the day if it's going to swing. Call will be less expensive. Hold the calls. Sell the call. So the scenario again is that I have multiple contracts. Right? So in the case of Adobe, I had multiple contracts on both. So the call was the losing one. Yeah? Sell the call and buy back at the end of the day. So that's one answer. Well, we have at least one courageous person. Actually, we have 2 courageous person. So Colin is telling us that he is holding the calls. The calls are the losing leg on this one. He's holding the call. Why, Mr. Colin? So out of 11 people, folks, you see, we only have 3 people who at least, well, one tells us that they are scared to answer. Then 2 others are giving us the answer. We're not going to spend the night on here. There is absolutely one and one only way that at least I teach how to do that. So if you believe in what I teach, just do that. I was thinking this morning that I may as well tell you guys that, hey, in the trading world, just like in your belief, you cannot have 2 belief systems. Yeah? You cannot have 2 masters. So either you come here and say you're trading this system and you're going to apply the best way that the guy who's giving you the system is telling you to trade it, or otherwise you will always be vacillating between, hey, let me take the Telec system, let me combine it with my previous system. The reason you came here in the first place is that you wanted something better than your current systems. Yeah? So do an honest assessment of yourself. As long as you're going to be juggling, and I'm open for answers, because that's what I gave a free one-on-one coaching. I don't know many people who do what I do in selling alerts who will say, hey, come guys, I'm going to teach you actually how to do. So the one way that for us we advise to do this, you need to sacrifice those calls that are losing. Do not even look at them. For God's sake. I mean, Adobe, again, is the example of that. This contract yesterday, you bought them somewhere here. You bought them on Friday, whatever. We saw the price, right? I'm not going to bring it back again on here. I shared that chart yesterday with you guys. It's inside the Hangout. They were worth, I don't know, anything between $1.50 or whatever. Actually, I'm not even sure the put, because the price was high. So if you got them here, you could even have paid less. They were worth $26 here, folks. Yeah, they were worth $5 here at the close. But before that, they were worth a certain thing. So meaning that those put, they were worthless. So for us, what we advise is that, hey, as you are making more money on the winning side on here, the puts, yeah, obviously scaling, if you have, you still have capital, meaning, hey, the trade is working in your favor. You have to stay on it as much as possible. Special is, the timeline is the other thing. We are Monday. There are 4 trading days left. 4 trading days. That's a lifetime in this market, yeah? You are staying on your winning side. You are scaling into your winning side, buying more of them if you have cash. But the question really is, what are you doing with the losing side? The losing side, forget about it, okay? What for us we advise actually is that, hey, as you are making more money on here, because the losing side is super cheap, spend a little of that money, find money to buy a little bit of that losing side. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. It's something that it doesn't even make sense intuitively. So in that case, okay, I'm going to spend, I don't have all time on here, but I'm going to spend time explaining why. Well, the reason why, my friend, is because of this. Yeah? Because of this. Because at some point, this thing's going to start reversing. So either, first, definitely holding. I think for holding, that message is clear. You do not get rid of a winning side just like that. You take profits, yes, at the end of the day here. Wholeheartedly agree. So let me help you out. You take profit on here because you're going to tell me, oh, I have a small account. Okay, fine. You take profit on here and you were trading the 440 puts. Yeah? They almost come close to the money. It's only Monday. There's a likelihood, a very high likelihood, and you're going to be seeing this as time pass by. The momentum that's established on Monday has a very high probability to carry into Tuesday. We have seen reversal. We saw reversal on Goldman Sachs last week, so don't get me wrong. But that's why we struggle, right? So in this case, you need to have puts. I don't care. And the put that you need to have here, because these are expensive, $5, use a further away strike. Yeah, so in the case of, so you are 440 here, they pay you $5, right? Okay, fine. Now you can say, whoa, geez, this thing really it may have a bad week on here. Let me, in following the momentum on here, let me buy 400 puts. Whatever is much, much lower, that is cheaper than the $5 on here. That's how you trade that. And then you woke up the next day. Obviously, if you had two of them, you only sell one of them. Yeah, if you have multiple of them, you take partial profit. That's you. If you have three of them, you sell two, you keep one. But definitely here, the smartest move, let me buy contract which are further away. And then you're holding the other one, in which case you will have been handsomely rewarded. And then the other thing that is really not that intuitive, let me buy cheap calls because they are super cheap on the other direction in case it reverses. That's how the swing trading video, that's what you should get out of that swing trading video, because it prepares you to whatever scenario come out the next day, you're going to come on top. Yep, so holding calls and look to possibly scaling into more calls because they are cheap, yes, in case the momentum change. And that change, especially early in the week, folks, the gains, when the stocks start moving, it's going to move, but in this market, they are buying the dip. So if you are winning on puts really very early on Monday, that's your opportunity to say, hey, we are early on Monday, on Tuesday. Hey, let me stack my gains on here. If the momentum continues, I'm covered. But if the momentum swings, I'm covered as well, because now I can buy cheap puts, cheap calls, in this case, in the other direction. Then you will end up on Adobe most likely this week. Adobe is going to give a 20 bagger on the puts between Monday and Tuesday. And then Adobe is likely to give a 10 bagger on the calls on its way of recovery. And this is not the first time we have seen that. Go into some of these stocks that we trade. NVIDIA has done it multiple times, where it goes back-to-back days, Tuesday, Wednesday, it puts in a low of the week, and then rallied by Friday, it has recovered all of the losses, giving you massive 3,000% gain on the puts, and then another 10 bagger on the calls. Then in that case, remember the focus we talk about. Then you can trade just one stock within that week, and your account's gonna be looking like, oh my God. Instead of spending time doing all of the scanning, oh, let me get into the next trade, or let me trade SPY. I think I'm sensing a distraction on trading too much SPY lately. You guys tell me. Again, you have your trading journal. Ask yourself, are you taking too many trades on SPY? SPY has a limit in the sense that SPY can only so much. Any ETF can only move so much. The individual stock, the movement of the individual stock is much, much bigger. How many days in a year are you going to have SPY gain 5%? I can tell you. That's part of the type of quant analysis that we do. But this type of stock, the Adobe of the world, how many times in a year are they going to lose $20, $30, $40 in a single day? You want to be part of that trade instead of trading SPY. All right, so we talked about being in the money. So it's the question about being in the money, what it means, and how much the price of your option appreciate being in the money. We talked about managing your position. So for me, really, the best way that I can help the traders on here is by emphasizing that please trade the system that you are trading on here. Again, if I need to spell that to you, meaning ask yourself, are you missing out on opportunities? I am going to be publishing every single week since we launched the system on May the 24th, exactly the percentage gain on some of, on all of those, whatever, 10, 15 stock that we had every single week. And then those average, because then that's going to help me with marketing, because I see what my competitors are doing, people who are doing things. Now I'm studying them. I'm seeing the type of percentage gains, average percentage gain that they're getting out of the weekly recommendation. I can tell you that mine dwarf theirs by a lot. By a lot. So I have those information now. So please, do yourself a self-evaluation, or hey, ask yourself this at the end of this week: are you making the most out of these alerts? And make the necessary adjustment. All right, so that's one on there. So hopefully that didn't dampen the mood. I see 4 likes. Oh, okay, people are liking this. So really, it's my way of looking at how to get you the most out of this system or opportunity. So let's switch gears on here and take a look at what the market is doing. So for that, I need to change screen and go inside of my Power E-Trade. All right. So we should be able to see a market view of the major indexes. So this morning, and actually since what time was it yesterday? In the after hours, I think a biopharma. What's the name? MNRA. Yeah, they touted some progress with a vaccine. So that's really just make the market jump, right? So those of you on the East Coast, actually wherever you are, those of you who have access to pre-market before some of us in California, right? Because pre-market start at 4 a.m. Pacific time. So for some of you, it's brand new day. That's why I love trading from those time zones, really, trust me. Because you can look at pre-market, but I want you to look at the pre-market not with the lens of, oh, the market is bullish. No. Use it as an opportunity to study. But you're going to ask me, Telex, what am I studying in pre-market? What is this guy? He's always studying. Yeah, I'm always studying. The basic thing that you can study in the pre-market is support and resistance. Yeah? Could somebody tell me right now what's the resistance on SPY? Because in pre-market it showed that. Yeah. For each one of the stock that you have trading, they show you a glimpse of pre-market, meaning that before you come in, if you have a position on that, or if you want to take a position on that, you have an informed decision that's going to help you when you are waiting for your setup using the knowledge that you acquired in the video. Yeah. So in here today, SPY is trading at 322.62. Guess what? Somebody already told us earlier this week, I think it was yesterday, right? Resistance, there's a strong resistance, heavy resistance for those who want to trade SPY today on expiration day at 323. So meaning that that's most likely they're going to test it again, and based on the results of that. So meaning that's a potential entry point or exit point for you to make the decision about your position. And every single stock has things like that. The other things that you can study in pre-market, especially on individual stock, is the volume, unusual volume coming in. So I don't know what your platform is like, but here I can filter by volume. Okay, so who's bringing in volume today? For that, you need a little bit of history, right? So look about like this guy. Is this volume something usual on it or no. These ones, I mean, they are smaller price stock. I mean, large volume on the small price stock, yeah, it's up 5%. Or these ones, $30. So SPY is expected to have volume. I mean, 2 million, it's a lot. 2 million is a lot. And you all have flow algo. You know the type of print that came in yesterday, for instance, on the financial, right? I think the JP Morgan of the world, Goldman Sachs reported this morning, oh, look at Goldman Sachs, up 5%. So yeah, Goldman Sachs is making a liar out of me, right? I never have I considered the financial to be big movers of the market, but this actually since last Friday is as if somebody just lit them up, and there are thousands of prints on JP Morgan and all the likes, right? So you can check those out. They will help you into the decision. Yeah, that's a good example, using Flow Algo as an ally to give you more information on how to trade, I mean, either stock that are available here or no, because we know Flow Algo. No joke aside that, hey, is Telex AI better than Flow Algo? Maybe. That's actually, maybe soon we're going to write an article about that. That's very topic on our blog, because it's becoming increasingly clear which way it's leaning. So yeah, study of the volume, or just sometimes there is no volume, but you can see action or a set of stock that are bucking the trend. Yeah, the QQQs are all green, but guess what? Netflix is red. Netflix, careful folks. Netflix has earning tomorrow after market close. So piece of excitement news, at least I hope that is excitement. So tomorrow we're gonna broadcast live, but not from well, I'm not sure if I can do that, but the aim is going to be that all of us inside Discord, we will get into the voice channel. Yes, we do have voice channel, and with cameras and everything, where we will get on from 3 p.m. Eastern to the close, and way past the close, all the way to when Netflix release the earnings, because I want to show you what's going to be happening in that last hour. That will be a great teaching moment into looking at the option flow in that last hour, and then we will wait at least, I mean, as long as we want to go. So I'm going to free up my schedule for at least a 2-hour broadcast inside of Discord, where you will be able to speak live. We will be able to speak live together. So we will be doing that here in the earnings season. So hope, because those are gonna be showing you things that I'm hoping they will help you in your trading, and to be able to take your trading to the next level. All right. So yeah, the market on Wednesday has been wild. That's what we have been. So bucking the trend on here, but Netflix, just be careful. Touching Netflix today, you have to know what you are doing. And there are ways to actually trade Netflix successfully between today and tomorrow. But that's another story for another day. Then let's see, who are the big movers on here? So the airlines are big movers. Again, the optimism coming about the vaccine, so, and some services such as this one, and then Goldman Sachs released their earnings. I mean, the service industry and everything. So for me, if you're asking me, hey Telex, based on that, your study of the pre-market, which stock are you looking at to show you something? This is it, flat out. I want BA to show me what's it, and then I think this will be after that. If BA doesn't, out of this, it fades, out of this, it cannot go to 190, as it has been doing, because BA has done this before, yeah? 1 million share in pre-market, up something, and then not be able actually to follow through. Well, in that case, I'm going to put BA in a ban. I'm not going to be trading BA for a while. Yeah, Telex is giving an ultimatum to BA. I have plenty of stocks to trade. Why would I be wasting time on BA? So Walmart taught me a lesson. So I'm using reverse psychology here. You see, folks? No, BA is going to be fine whether I trade it or not. So, all right, folks, we have about, it's 9:20 Pacific time on Thursday. Well, I wish, on Wednesday, July the 15th. Let's go ahead and take questions on here out of those who are forecasting us. We have 49 playbacks. Is this real, folks? I'm not sure what that means. 49 playbacks. So people who are catching the broadcast, but not live. Okay. Any question that we can try to answer here in the next couple of minutes, so that we can give you the time back to reset, to be ready for another wild Wednesday trading session in the US equities. Thank you. We appreciate everybody who is liking, everybody who's commenting. Really, I cannot thank the subscribers, the YouTube subscriber enough. We are up to, I don't know what the numbers, they're increasing just by left and right these days. So, but I know that we are on our path to 400 subscribers in the matter of a few months on here. Very, very unlikely run overall. So I really, really appreciate that. Any thoughts on IQ? No real movement in this. Yes, that's a good, very good question. Let's switch on here. Mr. B is asking IQ. Yeah, that beats me as well, my friend. I remember in the video over the weekend, right? So IQ, I was starting on IQ. So that's another stock that really nothing has been going on. Will today be the day for IQ? But IQ has been doing this for weeks, and the system has been alerting. I'm not going to say that, oh, the system has been faulty. No, because there have been moves. There have been moves. One day move or something where I think, was it either calls or puts? In one of the days, it was down or up 7%. I think mostly down, really, because IQ lately for me. But I haven't really been looking at it more closely. So let's go to the daily chart of IQ. Yeah, folks, this is what we're talking about. So this was that famous jump, yeah? That happened June 15, a month ago. And since then, we have been in range. So this type of stocks, this is not a characteristic of really a good stock per se. I mean, yeah, on this day on here, I think, yeah, was it last week or the week before? Yeah, you can say, okay, you could have traded this from, let's say, 23 to 25. Okay, a 3-day higher high on here. But what happened since then? This has been just a not so good stock at all. I have to be honest. And folks, there are multiple prints on, remember the print on the flow algo on this guy? So meaning, okay, what did those guys they do? Those prints, they came somewhere very early here. They were around $24. So they spent all of those million there just sitting. Yeah? Because I don't think if they shorted the stock, I mean, by now, I mean, did they short it for $2? I don't know. So, Mr. B, yeah, your guess is as good as mine. So, for me, this type of stocks, really, once you notice this, you don't go aggressive on them. That's why I didn't put IQ on my top 3. I put IQ on there just saying that this was overdue because, really, out of this, it's just something. A stock that resembles something like that is the stock that, hey, we can share here. No, the outside world, they can know what we are trading. I don't care about that. Look at this one. So we alerted yesterday, right? And for me, the moment I alerted yesterday, I told you guys, I took the trade. All right? Whatever happens on this one, but I took the trade exactly as I gave it to you because this is a full 10 days. And trust me, there's some quant analysis that I haven't quite put on paper yet, but which relate to the 10th day after the earning. Yes, there's quant analysis of the type. That's too much for another day. So yeah, IQ is definitely overdue, Mr. B and the rest. Thank you for the question. Beto, the Qs. Any question? So we talked about IQ, and Mr. Beto is asking about the Qs. What the Qs? We talk about the Qs, right? The Qs have been something that we alerted on. They had an alert on since last week. So for the Qs, they have been rolling. So there is no new information on here on the Qs. I mean, they're up like everybody. They keep posting. The Qs have been posting high consistently across the board. So on Monday, they went all the way to 269, and then they sold off a little bit yesterday, like everybody, and then they recovered. They came back with a vengeance. That's what they do, right? A stock that will always come. You see the bounce? So this, again, now I want you to get into the habit of studying charts for fun. One of the traders here told me that, they were saying, he sees how I am enjoying this when I'm talking about charts. It seems as if my eyes either they pop or the sound of my voice, something. No, I mean, yeah, technical analysis. I mean, you can get into it. Just, yeah. So you see, support has been, so with this information, look at the supports, how many times this thing has come closer to the green line. The green line is the exponential moving average 20. Folks, and just bounce off of it. Yeah? So it did that yesterday again. So with that type of knowledge, when we dropped yesterday, you would have just been, oh, this thing, I know that resistance is there. And the support is at the EMA 20, and they didn't even go there. They came as close as the low was 252.76. That was at 251.61, that EMA. But they tend to bounce over it. So now they have room to run. It's a wild Wednesday, folks. So I hope you are ready for the ride, because if last week was of any indication, today we can get the popcorn ready, Mr. Mr. Beto. All right, folks, it's really truly, we are on top of the trading session on here. Thank you, everybody. 7 likes. Thank you. Please subscribe. If you are not a subscriber, we appreciate your time. And tomorrow we will be here, Lord, the good Lord willing, in the morning, and we will have an extensive, almost 2 hours run into the beginning of the earnings season, and that we're gonna go do that in our Discord channel, where we're able to talk and take questions live. Is going to be fantastic. We hope to catch you on that tomorrow, everybody. Have a great trading session. Bye-bye.